Yes, so before we jump into Power BI, we want to show you here clearly how this data looks, okay? So it's the same data that we have collected, and these are the different Joe points. Now, those who collected this data were physically present in those locations, okay? So we have selected this data, and you see that beside every data, when they collected the latitude and longitude, they collected the number of boys, number of girls, total children, and they segregated the data in different forms, okay? You have IDP, host, returning, and total status, person with disabilities, etc. So we want to bring in this data into Power BI and see how it interacts within the maps. Let's go. We'll just come here, put this Excel sheet down, go to our get data here, Excel, and then we bring in this particular data. It's named lessons, that's how I named it. So we are going to bring it inside here now, push it into Power Query, and then immediately take it right into our report view. So if I come here and I click to preview the data, you see, so that's the data. I might just go to transform again to show you how to bring the data again into Power BI and start creating some maps visual. Now here you see that our data is fine. When you look around here, around the latitude and longitude, you see that we have 1.2 because it's dealing with points, and then our numbers are 1, 2, 3 because we are dealing with whole numbers. Yes, and then we have ABC because we are dealing with text here. So everything is fine. Let's just go to home, go back to close and apply, and then we click. So now it pushes us into the reporting view of Power BI. So let's wait and see how the data goes in there. Power BI takes time to sync the data and also analyze the data, making sure that every data point is correctly in place. Okay, we are right here. This is perfect. So now I'll go to my data point here, and I want us to look at this data per division. So I'll click division. No, before I click division, I want to show you something here very powerful. The first thing I want to show you here is I want to show you the different maps. So we have the field map, we have the shape map, and we have the tree map. Pay attention. What we are going to use here is just the map. I'll click this and it appears here. So this is our map. This is the visual we want to start using. I'll just come here straight away and I choose my division. And then one thing I want you to take note first is because each time you choose a particular visual, you come under here and look at what it tells you or what it's asking for. So when you choose that visual, it shows us that it's asking for location, legend, latitude, longitude, and bubble sizes. Okay, so these are the things that the data is asking for. So we are just going to give what the data is asking for. Okay, so the first thing we want to choose is the division. We want to see what is happening across the different divisions in terms of the locations. Okay, and we'll come here. Once we select the division, we'll select the latitude and then we select the longitude. Now once we select that, you see that our map is still not functioning well. Do you know why? Because you see that our latitude are summing up. They are not supposed to be summing up, okay? And the longitude are summing up because we are not doing summation or calculations. You see, we can do summations like sum, average, minimum, maximum, etc. But now we don't want to summarize, so we are just going to click don't summarize. Now it turns to latitude. We also come here to longitude and we click don't summarize and it turns to longitude. Now you see that our maps is already forming up, okay? And we are already seeing the different locations and the different signs in terms of color. And then under here we have legend. The divisions are already falling under the legend, and we can already see the legend colors, right? Under the division, which is Fako, Coupe, Lebiale, Manu, Meme, and Dian. Now we want to show a difference. We want to show the quality, more quality of this visual because we want to see what is happening in different divisions in terms of total children. Now I'll just go ahead and I click total children. The moment I click that, you see that it falls under the bubble size. Bubble size here simply means the data is helping you to see which area has more children and which area has less children. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are going to go to our filter pane and we'll put that down, and you see that in some areas you have the colors are bigger and in some areas the colors are smaller, right? Yes, it's telling us what is happening in those areas. So if I hover with my mouse, I will see that this area says total children is 95. If I hover with my mouse up here, it says 45. If I hover around Chang here, which is around Lebialem, it says 40 children. If I hover around here, you see it says just 45 children. And now this map, another thing that makes this map very, very unique is that we can come to this filter pane here, and then we go to the divisions and we click, and then under the division we can decide to say, oh, we just want to see what is happening in Kupe, right? And we click Kupe Manenguba. You see, it shows us that in Kupe we have Tombel and we have Mbangem town. So these are the two divisions in Kupe. We can also go to Lebialem and we say we just want to see what is happening in Lebialem, and we click. So you see, it brings us now to the two main areas in Lebialem, which is Menji and this other area here. Let me see what's this other area here. We have Menji and we have another area around here which we have Mbanga, Ponjo. You know, we just have different areas around there. Let's look at Manu and see where what Manu is telling us. So it's showing us all the points in Manu. You might be asking, how is this possible? Yes, this is very possible because this data was well structured in your Excel before you took it in your Power BI. Remember that when you look at Manu here is connected to, remember that we just chose Kupe, right? So this two area of Kupe is connected to Mbangem and Tombe. So this line comes and picks this latitude and this longitude, and also come and pick these total children, and then tells you the data and reveals the data to you. So we have these two areas, this one and this one, Kupe, connecting to their subdivisions. We also have Lebialem connecting to Fontem, the same Lebialem connecting to Wabane. We also have Ndian connecting to Ekondo Titi, Ndian connecting again to Ekondo Titi again. We also have Manu connecting to Manfe, you know, and so on and so forth. Okay. We also have Meme connecting to Kumba 1, Meme connecting to Kumba 2 and Kumba 3. That is why if I come to my Power BI here and I decide to do it by Meme and I decide to filter it by Meme, you see that I'll have three locations, right? Kumba 1, 2, and 3. And remember that before you work with this data, make sure you are inside internet because it works with satellite live, okay? So you can already see that there are also some areas or some features around here where it suggests that these areas are actually around where these GPIs were connected. You can see here that we have Barombi Kang. These are named. This is Kake. You see, you can see the roots and all that. Okay, you see other features around there. So the data points in terms of maps are very, very important. Don't ignore it. It's very important and useful. So now I want to do some conditional formatting, and conditional formatting goes with tables especially. So I'm going to come here and then I choose my division and then I choose my anyway, let me choose subdivisions. Okay, let me choose the subdivisions, and then here I'm going to choose total boys, girls, and perhaps I'll choose total children. Okay, so my data comes in different format like this. So I might choose IDPs, etc. So this is just an example, and then I want to format this visual because a table is also a visual, right? I'll go now to the format your visual option, and I go under values here. The moment I go under values here, I want to make my values bigger because I want to be formatting and then making sure that everyone can see what I'm doing. So I want to put this to 17 maybe. Okay, so this is the visual itself, and I want to also go under here, under the column headers, right? And then I also make them bigger, right? Because they are smaller. I just want to also put this 17 and then I bold it and then I change the text color. Okay, I can also do that for the other options. I can also do that for the whole data as a whole. Now, when you look at this data, it's difficult for us to see and tell which item is bigger or smaller, especially from this row. Okay, you need to strain to look at your eye. If I say, tell me which item here is bigger or smaller, you might need to strain to see it. But when we go with conditional formatting, it gives you a quicker look around this. Okay, so I'll just go back to my data itself here around the visuals. Under this visual, I'll first start with total children here, right? And I'll just click this small option, and then up here it says conditional formatting. Now I want to start with background colors. I'll click that and it brings me this option up here. Now this is amazing. I want to go there and put a middle value. And what I want to do here is I want to just say that any value that is lower should be giving me red, and any value that is higher should be giving me this, just by looking at it this way. Okay, and I click OK. You see that the conditional formatting already tells me quicker look, by just telling me that 25 and 20 are the smallest data. Remember that when we were looking this without applying this format, we could not see this quickly. Now it tells me that 95 is blue, because we said that when it's going higher we should be seeing blue, when it's going lower we should be seeing 20, the smallest values, and when it's around the middle path we should be seeing this kind of yellow color. You see, so that is conditional formatting there for you. If I go back still under that total children there, I can just go back here and I say remove conditional formatting, and I remove that, and it goes back to number. I can still go back to that very total children there, and then I go to conditional formatting. I still go to background color, and now I want to do something here. I just want to do customize. So I want to customize here. I want to say that I want to put a particular value. If we look at these values here, you see that the smallest value is around 20, right? And the biggest value here is around 95. Okay, so I want to write that I want to write it physically, so we see how it goes. So the smallest value here is 20. Okay, I want that when it's going to 20, I want to see this color, and then the mid value here is around 40. Okay, good. And then the highest value here is around 95, as we saw, right? As we saw, you just have to be creative. So we are saying that when it goes below this 40 going towards 20, we want to be seeing this yellow. When it starts going above 40 and going towards this 95, we want to see this color. Now I want to change this middle color. Let's see how it looks. Let's change this middle color, right, like this, and then we click OK. You see that it gives us the same result. So when we are going towards 25, 20, it starts giving us something like red. When we are coming in the middle, like 40, 45, you see it starts giving us this other color. And then when we are going right far up, close to 95, it starts giving us blue. So this is very important with our conditional formatting. Let's go back, and then we remove that conditional formatting, and then we apply something different. Now if I go back to my conditional formatting there, I can take my data bars. Okay, my data bars are here. Now the data bars are amazing because it just tells me that if my data is positive, then I should have a particular color. If it is negative, I should have a particular color. But the negative here will not apply because we don't have any negative value. Okay, but it is going to show us different data bars. If I click here, you see that it shows off a one color data bar because all these numbers are positive values, but some are bigger than others. Okay, so the ones that are bigger, like the 80, it gives us a long data bar. The ones that are smaller, like 20, it gives us a small data bar. Take note of this. So if we had any value here that has minus, then it will be applying that data bar for negative values. So we only have positive values, so you have to take very serious note of this. So now if I remove this, somebody is asking, can we not apply to the other part? Of course we can apply to the other side. Okay, it's just the purpose of learning here. I can decide to go to sum of boys. Okay, and I go there and I instead choose icons. Good. So these are the icons I chose. So the icons here are by default. So it tells me that from 0 right up to 33, we want to be seeing this. If we start moving right from 33 right up to 67, we want to be seeing this. When it goes above 67, we want to be seeing this. So this is progressive. Okay, it's progressive. Let's just click OK and see what we have here. You see that it starts going above 30, 40, and 50. We could see this. But when it was below that, we could see this. And then this other arrow shows us that it was trying to go up there, and this other arrow shows us that it was improving. So it's a progressive data. So it starts from 3, 10, it starts going to 20, 30, and then starts going right up to 48 and then 50. Okay, so the higher it goes, you'll be seeing the blue. The lower it goes, you'll be seeing the red, and in the middle part, you'll be seeing the yellow. So this is very, very important. Now I might want to still go again and remove the conditional formatting from there. Now I want to remove the conditional formatting. I say remove all. Now I might still want to go to the girls here, and I click and I go to my conditional formatting here. Now instead I go again to the icons, and then now I want to give a condition. Okay, under girls there, let's see the numbers that we have. So under girls we have 5, we have 20, we have 30. Okay, so let's come here and just say, okay, we want something that goes above 20, right? Above 20 or above 19, right? Above 19. And then from 19 here, sorry, it should go above right up to 30. And then from 30 here, it should go right above maybe 45. Okay, and then we apply. You see, this is really good. You see that here now there are some areas that it did not apply because these areas were not strategically calculated. So I brought this intentionally to show you that you have to be logical and you have to follow a certain flow in order to have all the data picked. And you saw that we started from a very we did not start from zero. The other data started from zero, which was picking right from what is zero, right, going right up, and it flowed systematically. So we were able to apply the data bars in all. But again, you can still be very strategic and try this, do this practice all the time in order to get a good result for your data. If we come back again here, we can just remove all this. We can go back here to our total children here, and we go back again to our conditional formatting, and then now we take icons. I think we have taken icons. Font colors, we want to take font color. This is something we have not taken. So font colors is the same like data bars, okay? So if I come here and I click and I say, oh, if you are going lower, take the red. If you are going in the middle, we want to see yellow. If you are going right up there, we want to see blue. And you see, so it gives the same, okay? So it's the same with the data bars, okay? You can see that the smaller color, the smaller numbers have red, the bigger numbers have blue, and then those that are in the middle, like 40 and 45, they have yellow. So this is it with conditional formatting, and this is very, very important. Yes, somebody is asking, can we also filter? Of course you can filter. If I say I want to see what is happening in Bangem in the subdivision, it shows that this data was higher. I want to see Ekondo Titi, it shows that this one was lower. I want to see Fontem, it shows that this one was also lower. So you can do a lot of things so far as this data is concerned. So a quick tip here for Power BI. So I want us to go to File up here. When we choose File, I want us to come to Option and Setting. Let's go to Option. I just want to show you how you can activate your maps if you don't have your maps active. So you go here, it gives you this option. Just look for privacy, security. Let's go to security first. So here there are a lot of things that you can put on, okay? So we have our ArcGIS for Power BI. This one is on. You have our map and field maps. This one is on, okay? You see the maps that we have used. So if you're trying to deal with your map and it's not working, please make sure you can turn this on. One other place is good to see is the preview and features. So here also you have a lot of things you can put on. You have your improve Q&A with Copilot, visual calculations, enhanced dark time intelligence, you see. So each time you come here and you put this on, it gives you a different view and a different reaction so far as your Power BI is concerned. Please feel free to do a lot. You can also come to data load. You want to see what happens when you load your data. Import relationships from data source on first load, okay? So it tells you all this, and it says allow data previews to download in the background. You see, so all these you can do a lot, but I just wanted to show you this is a quick way of rearranging your Power BI to suit your context, okay, and tailor it on specific behavior and also specific workload that you have. Copilot preview, you can also click here. So there's a whole lot updates to see what's happening with Copilot, etc. Those of you who work with Python, there's also a lot here to do with Python. You can also diagnose here is to help you to see how you can solve some problems that might occur while you are using Copilot. Just try to go around here and see how you can find out about what's happening. So here it says version 2.151.11.822. You see, so it's February 2026, right? We are in February. So that's why it's advisable to always download from the Microsoft Store, such that each time they update, you also have updates. Thank you very much, and see you in the next class.